Good morning. It's a very odd kind of hazy day today. It's only about 20 minutes before sunrise, but there's no sign of any light. I've come out onto the end of one of the breakwaters to try a shot out here, and then I think I might move from here and try something else. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Good morning everyone, thanks for joining me. We've got a heat wave at the moment. We're on a red alert here at the moment for extremely high temperatures, and I just decided to come out this morning and see what I could get before it gets too hot. I've come out onto the end of one of the breakwaters. It's breakwater number 1, so it's the furthest south along the beach, and I've set up and I'm taking a shot. It's a 2-minute exposure. So we'll talk you through that, and hopefully the image will work. So what we've got is this rocky end of the breakwater, which kind of has this gap in it, creating this curved channel coming around. And then right over in the background we've got the coastline, which has got the hills of Roches Yoma. There is actually the mountains of the Sierra Lada and Puig Campana back there, but you can't see them because it's really hazy. 2-stop hard-edged ND grad on to stop the sky from blowing out, and I'm just running a 2-minute exposure, and we'll see what it looks like. Right, I've come off the breakwater now. It is about 5 minutes still until official sunrise, but I think it's pretty safe to say we're not going to get anything this morning. It's very flat, very dull light. Kind of what I expected. I've got one shot taken out on the end of the breakwater, long exposure. I'm just sort of wandering along towards the Rio Seco, which is the dry river. It's actually the mouth of the Montenegra River. But by the time it gets down here onto the coast, so much of the water has been taken out for irrigation purposes, you know, further inland, that it's almost completely dry. It's just a trickle. So hence Rio Seco, or dry river. So I've made it to the Rio Seco, but there's nothing much here to shoot, and I'm kind of having to make a decision. Do I wade across the river and get wet feet? I don't think there's anything worth going over there for at the moment. Conditions are a bit kind of bleh. And I'm not sure if I'm even going to get another image this morning. I think what we'll do is just have a wander around for another 10 or 15 minutes and see if anything grabs me. So we are definitely not going to be getting any light and colour this morning. So I just thought I'd have a play around with something maybe a little bit different. There's this kind of concrete archway with some tiles and that on it. And there's a view through there. There's some green area with some trees on it. And then beyond that, there is the sea and the beach. And I just thought I'd take a shot through here. Honestly, I'm not really 100% sure if it's any good, but we'll give it a go. Vertical orientation. I'm trying not to angle the camera up and down too much to try and keep the verticals reasonably straight. So I am going to be cropping this, so I'll be taking out the bushes that are creeping in from the foreground. There's a guy walking through the scene at the moment, so I'm just going to wait until he disappears out of the shot. And his dog. Perfect. Yeah, definitely nothing happening in the way of light and colour. So what I've decided to do is have a little play. I've come into this little cluster of palm trees on the beach. They're not at their most impressive because they're sort of quite small in terms of the foliage on them at the moment. But they make a nice little cluster, and I've kind of moved around to try to get all of the trees separated a little bit, at least the trunks. It's impossible to get everything separated. But what I'm actually doing here is I'm shooting this with my fisheye lens, although I'm using it more like a super wide angle because I've put the horizon right across the middle of the frame again. And it's just basically this cluster of palm trees. And I think with the very soft flat light, it's creating an interesting effect. On the back of the camera, this image had quite a cool looking, almost high key effect. It didn't really translate too well to the raw file that I ended up with in Lightroom. So after a bit of playing around, I decided to exaggerate the high key and convert it to black and white. And here's the result. So it's already getting warm, in the high 20s already, and it's only half an hour after official sunrise, although of course there's no sign of the actual sun. Because of the heat warnings here at the moment, I've put on hold any plans to go exploring new places. Just not sensible when it's this hot. I think by sort of mid-morning today, we could well be into the sort of mid-30s. So I'm going to head for home now. Hopefully I've made the best of the flat light and rather unusual conditions and got a couple of, you know, different kind of images. I guess I'll find out when I get home, but you'll already have seen. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a like, share it on social media. Don't forget about leaving me a comment and letting me know what you think. If you're new here and you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye.